conditions. Men going unloved and unwanted and unappreciated and abused and used as a routine. That's not natural. Men losing their children in custody battles to women who aren't even worthy of being mothers full time, but having the court overlook all your great characteristics and your fatherly deeds as if it doesn't even matter just because you're a man. You're shamed out of fatherhood. You feel ashamed for being great. That's what they do to men. That's what they especially do to black men. They shame you from not wanting to be great. That's why we have so many mediocre black men. That's why I have so many mediocre black women who are happy with being just good enough not to rock the boat. Black people love shame. Sad, man. I remember my grandmother, man. Even though she did so much for me, she was very tough. And I always remember her being very verbally harsh. And I always remember my mom being so passive. She had her moments, but she was mostly absent, you know? Like her heart wasn't in it. She was just kind of thrown in a situation and making the best of it. But she wasn't like 110% into motherhood, you know? It always seemed to be the burden of her life. Motherhood. So in turn, I was ashamed of being a child of something. Of being a son. Because I felt like I was causing my mom stress just for breathing. My mom would be asleep so much. I remember barely seeing my mom wake. She'd always be asleep. Telling us to leave her alone. You know? Made me be ashamed of wanting to, anything. Wanting to eat something. Ashamed of losing out. It's funny, men are really taught to not reach their potential. And women are almost trained to kill that fire inside of you before it gets too strong. Because women don't think about what it really takes to develop a man. They don't think about it because they don't care. The weaker the man, the better, you know? That's how this society thinks. And that's why women don't take the proper precautions to securing men for their sons. And someone brought it up that I said it in a previous video, and the question I posed, are mothers more loyal to their gender than they are to their own son's development? Because they never want to pick a strong, intelligent man of honor and character to help raise their boys. They want to have boys with the worst men, just so she can avoid accountability. And the accountability and the shame that may come with having a man with standards of her behavior. And I always wondered that. It's like, how much can a mother love her child if she doesn't secure a father? If she doesn't secure someone to protect her children? Someone to protect her children from violence, molesters, predators. Protect her children from the world with a man's point of view. To protect their minds from the poison of society with a man's take on reality and his teaching and his wisdom. would you want your children to grow up in a world without such precious gifts? While most women complain about being single mothers, and they complain about how hard it is and how tough it is and how it's the hardest job in the world, well, why would you choose such a difficult path? And how much could you truly love your children if you didn't choose a proper father? I mean, this is just a question we can ask. We see all these women killing their children and abusing their children after the fact. They realize how tough it is, or they realize that they never were mother material. Just because a woman has reproductive organs doesn't mean she should be a mother. And that goes for some men too. But in this Western world, men are ashamed for their reproductive prowess. The fact that a man can populate a whole nation by himself in a lifetime if you so choose. But a man's reproductive prowess, his virility is shamed. Now, do I believe in men being Johnny Appleseeds and just dumping babies in every chick that'll let them? Nah, I don't believe that. I believe that's counterproductive and very dangerous and can cause a lot of problems. Your children miss out on a lot of things if they don't have the proper tools. You know, so many ways they shame men, to the point that men are choosing to opt out and walk away from society in general, because men have been told that they're not worthy of the proper respect and admiration that comes with being a man. Developing from a child into a man in this world without serious psychological disorders is damn near impossible. And the small group of men that find their way eventually find themselves torn apart by this society and its women who are at the helm of the society. Very dark. What men have to live, what men have to survive, what men have to make the best of. Just to be considered a valuable part of society. You know, as a black man especially, like I said, you have to be damn near a celebrity to get properly respected by your counterparts in black society in general. You can't just be a man that's just taking care of his business. Our women say we don't build, and we don't have enough for them. They have their multiple degrees in their academics, but yet most of these women lack the common sense to even choose a proper mate. What does that say about you? And it's more detrimental for a woman to find a proper mate than it is for a man. This is her provision. This is her protection. Men don't need that. Men can survive on their own. Women need men way more than men need women. So I would consider you a fool to be a woman who hasn't understood the proper steps in choosing a mate, or even what it takes. But yet you try to shame us men into having standards into women that we don't want to deal with anymore. Because men don't want to deal with single mothers, you're going to shame them and say they're not real men. That shame word is a motherfucker. You got to watch that. Don't let anyone make you feel ashamed of being intelligent, being honorable, being a man of character that wants things out of life, but chose not to take the dope boy route to get it. Or decided you didn't want to rap or play basketball in order to obtain the things you wanted out of life. You're not with the in crowd. You're not with the cool kids. Because you choose to stay home and work on a business plan and go to the club and pretend to have money. You'd rather stay home and read or research, or just be alone with your thoughts, than go out chasing harlots and cheap liquor, drugs. Listen, my brothers, I'm at your service, and I'm here to tell you, you are great no matter what anybody says, what anybody tries to say to you, or what anyone has ever said to you. And I don't care if it's your own mother. You're going to have to come to grips with what some people have done to you without your knowledge. Trying to break your manhood, trying to subdue what's inside of you before you even got a chance to realize it. Anyone that has done this to you, you need to acknowledge that, man. You may have to look deep inside yourself and realize how many ways you were shamed from doing the things you love, being who you wanted to be. Women have all these terms, slut shaming and all this bullshit. They want to avoid shame so bad, man. But they can shame men for not having money, not having celebrity status, or an expensive vehicle, or living in a penthouse overpriced loft, or whatever the case. Not having some big cushy corporate executive job, like most black women always say. Being a blue collar man that likes to get in and get yours, get in where you fit in. Nah. It's not good enough. See? Don't let anybody shame you from finding greatness in what is already there. And has always been there your whole life. And that's what the Red Pill is for. That's what the Manosphere is for. That's what IBMO and MGTOW and all these movements is for. To help men actualize what's great inside them without the validation of women. And being impervious to the shaming language of society, and especially women, to keep you in check. Keep you under their thumb. Keep your head down and keep your eyes down. Keep you from keeping your chin up and your chest out and walking with your shoulders back with confidence. Because when you do that, you force everyone else to bow. You force women to look down and divert their eyes. When you have a stern look in your face and you look people in the eyes and you speak with intent, you're the one that makes everybody else bow their heads and feel ashamed just by your mere presence alone. The confidence that you give off, you radiate. So carry yourself like this at all times and never let anybody shame you for what's truly in your heart. Be who you want to be. Live how you want to live. And if you make a mistake, you make a mistake. Don't make people shame you for having the courage to try something that they didn't ever have the courage to do. So they're going to try to shame you out of it. Just like with this motorcycle riding. People always tell me, oh, you shouldn't do that. They try to shame you out of it. Oh, you must be going through midlife crisis. Because you don't have the courage to do it. Or you don't have the courage to pursue your dreams or change your career. Because you're scared of losing out on money. Or, I've been here 20, 30 years. I don't want to change. Even though you're miserable. They try to shame men from leaving toxic relationships. BOA said something like that in one of his live streams today about a heartbroken man. It's soul stirring what he was saying, and it riveting. Men are shamed into not leaving toxic relationships just because they have children. You're not a real man if you leave your family. I'm not leaving my family. I'm leaving this woman. We'll do what we got to do. But I won't remain under the roof with this woman because it's going to be me or her. You got to save yourself. They shame you from seeking women outside of your race. Finding things attractive in other women. Finding things attractive in their appearance. They say you're color struck. And they try to shame you for just thinking a woman who isn't a dark-skinned black woman is attractive. You're color struck. More shaming. The number one tool of this society to keep men subdued is shaming them out of reaching their true potential. Shaming them from questioning what's going on in the world around them. Shame them from questioning the behaviors of the women that they're being forced to deal with on a daily basis, to have children with and marry and be in these relationships with. But you're shamed when you decide you rather walk away. You don't want to be bothered. When you decide that being alone is better than being in a toxic relationship with a toxic cantankerous banshee who's only looking to use you for what she wants and eventually discard you or destroy you. Or both. Men are literally walking away because they don't feel that this world has anything to offer them other than shame. And shaming language. They're trying to keep them down. This is a thinking man's Templar. You are great. You have always been great. You are a master of masters, a king of kings. Never let anyone tell you different. I want you gentlemen to enjoy the rest of your week and look forward to every day and live it like it's your last, but also plan for the future. Peace. Cover your six. Peace, peace. Yeah, it's Thinking Man's Templar. Just gonna jump right into it. There's no such thing as toxic masculinity. And most of you men would agree. There's no such thing as toxic masculinity because of the simple fact that it's no such thing. It's just that women are scared of men. Women are paranoid of men. At the end of the day, most men can subdue, injure, even kill and maim the average woman with his bare hands. Not to say that that's right, because it's not. But if a man pushed far enough, can easily do so. That's what an actualized man knows about himself. See, the average woman has become so comfortable with her counterpart being subdued mentally and indoctrinated that they become comfortable as one of the trainers in Barnum and Bailey's circus with those tigers and lions that they whip. That's how comfortable women have become with men, because masculinity has been watered down and sutured and put back together in this new beta metrosexual effeminate male version of masculinity. And it's to the point that women are craving their feminine nature, no matter how much they try to subdue it, is craving masculinity so much in everyday men that they rather deal with men that are dysfunctional because they get some kind of feeling of masculine energy from a dysfunctional thug, street, whatever, criminal. But they try to tailor masculinity to their own comfort level. But women don't understand that naturally men, such as men in the manosphere, in the red pill communities, men will naturally find a way to get back to where they were. You can't stop or deflate nature from being what it is. Men's natural masculinity will begin to harbor itself and then grow and spurn or spread, throughout men. Now, from at this point, it's just mental, but then it's going to be a true actualization of men that women aren't going to be able to thwart. No matter how much they try to abuse their sons or indoctrinate. See, women have gotten to the point where abusing men is normal for them. Using and abusing men is normal for them. Using men for their sex, their money, their resources, in divorce court, child support, and then discarding men like used toilet paper is normal for the average woman. Men's feelings don't come into a play, their emotions don't come into a play, because they know that there's no consequences of this man's feelings and emotions. Now, every once in a while, we do have situations where men do take their feelings out on women. Not saying there isn't abuse of women, but I'm also saying that let's not act like there isn't an abuse of men as well. We can sit there and say that there's a such thing as toxic masculinity. That's truly bullshit, because you have to look at it from a woman's perspective. How else can she make men feel like they are dangerous to her and that they have to pose themselves in a safe way? Think about this. If you're trapped on a planet with your counterpart that is essentially stronger, faster, more intelligent than you in every way, and you have to basically trick yourself into believing that you are competing with this being, wouldn't that say that essentially you are paranoid and fearful of this being? Because at the end of the day, like I said, there's nothing you can do to stop this being from overpowering you if he really wanted to. You understand? Because there's no such thing really as women raping men. You know why? It's because women can't rape men that don't want to be raped. That's why. You understand? They make it a thing because women know that they can't rape men, that if he physically did not want you, you could not rape him unless he was substantially outsized by you. And you see that also in society where women, they're so paranoid of men that most obese 300-pound men, you find them with the most scrawny, physically incapable men, because that allows them to have substantial strength and power over that man in any situation. We got to understand women's paranoia of your true strength. Women don't want to see men actualized. Because like I said, if a man wanted to rape a woman, and of course not right, and that's the most simp thing you could ever fucking do, so it shouldn't be even a thought process, but if a man wanted to, most men could pull it off. Not saying it's right, it's definitely wrong. But if women wanted to take sex from men, it would be damn near impossible without a weapon. Just because a man's testosterone wouldn't allow you to do that. And I think women have a jealousy. Just like women are jealous of men from being able to piss outside at their convenience and write their name in the snow, and women have such a hard time doing so. When they have to use the bathroom, they have to use a bathroom. Or if they pee outside, it just looks ridiculous. And they can't really do it everywhere. But a man, I can creep in any little crevice or corner and piss if I really have to. You got to understand women's innate jealousy of men. And women have an innate jealousy of men and their overall dominance when men are actualized. You see, back in the days when men had to hunt and gather, and men fought wars with swords and axes, close combat, not drones and technology. See, there was no such thing as women ever uttering a thought of toxic masculinity. There was no such thing as women ever truly being disloyal or blatantly disrespectful of their male counterparts as women are today, because they got to see in real time what their men were capable of. They got to know that these men could kill them, because they saw these men kill other men out in battle. They saw these men come home with large animals like buffaloes and whatever they hunted, wild boars, and animals that can easily kill them. But they come home with these animals and skin them and eat them. These women knew that the men of those days were nothing to fuck with. So that's why women were more in check. And when it came to the point where men actually had a government that allowed men to know that you reap the benefits of a country or a system that you have created, women understood their place. See, women didn't want a large pie of something they didn't build. You understand? Because not once ever in my life have I seen women up at 4 o'clock in the morning paving a highway, or up in the high 100-floor realm of a skyscraper being built in the frame, doing the construction way up at those dangerous altitudes. Women are not sitting around building planes. in apartment complexes, in cars. We know this is a fact. Every angle of society has been built by men. We can say, but who men or what men? But we know the foundations of where most of the financial energy or strength came from this country. It was through free labor. And that's how this country got its startup money. But that's another subject. There's no such thing as toxic masculinity in those days because women understood that masculinity was not toxic. Masculinity was divine. It actually built a safe environment for the men actually quelled and challenged nature, cut down the trees, tame the wildlife that would essentially kill and maim 100% of women. But for some reason, men found a way to keep wildlife separated from their women and children. Bears, lions, tigers, mountain lions, poisonous animals, snakes, hawks, whatever you want to call it. We don't see those things just walking around snatching up children and babies or attacking people because men have actually tamed nature. You understand? There's no such thing as toxic masculinity, and it never was. It's just that women are truly terrified of men when they're actualized and when these men know that they're men. Because women know that there are consequences to their actions. Just like in these countries in the Middle East, where women, if single, they face severe consequences, just like a man, for their actions, their crimes, and misdeeds. You understand? Everyone complains about that. Oh, that's wrong. Oh, but fairness is wrong? If a woman steals, she gets the same penalty as a man? Not like in the American judicial system, where a man and a woman can commit the same crime but do different time. Out there, it's even across the board. Women get treated for their consequences of their actions in the criminal court or whatever. Even when it comes down to executions, women get the same, outcome. But no one ever talks about the fact that also in these Middle Eastern countries, that a married woman, if committing crimes, the husband is now responsible for her actions. Isn't that some shit? But no one talks about that. What about the double standard that a husband in the Middle East is also responsible for the actions of his wife? If she goes out and steals or murders, everyone looks at the husband, and he's partly responsible, and he also gets penalized for the actions of his wife. No one talks about that, though. See, most men are indoctrinated, and most men are blind, which is, sadly, I would say roughly over 95% of men. This includes your friends, uncles, family members, fathers, cousins, most of them. I don't know many red pill men that are truly initiated. I don't know many. I don't know any in person. I've never met any red pill men in person besides Negro Ninja. We met and had a conversation one time and talked in Barnes & Noble. That's one of the only red pill men that I've ever met. You understand? Every other man I meet is not red pill. Only men online. That's why I always keep saying that red pill men have to connect dots. We do these hangouts online in Obsidian and O'Shea, and we do build and have conversations. But it has to come to the point where we begin to evolve and connect on levels where we begin to be able to do business. Because it's hard for red pill men to do business and deal with economics with blue pillars. You understand? Because they don't understand certain principles. These men aren't initiated the same way. Red pill men have to start to build and connect with red pill men in real ways, in real time ways, in the physical, and be able to, build upon that.
You captured Zone C. You lost Zone A.
世の中は地獄の上の花見かな。つゆのせく気分日はまた昇る。 世の中は地獄の上の花見かな。
Enemy team is breaking. The enemy rally.
消滅する点。消滅する点。おじきをせ。
Enemy team is breaking. The enemy rally. Enemy team is breaking. Enemy rally. Enemy team is breaking. You captured Zone A. You captured Zone C. lost Zone A. You captured Zone A. lost Zone C. You captured Zone C. Enemy team is breaking.
将軍無情なり。なんたる万有よ。
Victory! You captured Zone A. You lost Zone C. You captured Zone C. You lost Zone C. You lost Zone A. You captured Zone C. You lost Zone C. You captured Zone A. You captured Zone C.
商業無情なり。つゆの命か。なんたる万有よ。
You lost Zone C. You lost Zone A.
我にあり。世の中は地獄の上の花にかな。
You captured Zone A. Enemy team is breaking. The enemy rally. You captured Zone A. Enemy team is breaking.
I owe you one.
Your team is breaking. Enemy team is breaking. Your team rallied.
商業無情なり。
Your team is breaking. Enemy team is breaking.
我にあり。 巡る
rallied.
終わりだ。消滅ルテン。世の中は地獄の上の花見かな。
You captured Zone A.
我にあり。
Victory! captured Zone C.
射我一刀！疯狂就是力量！刀剑无眼。諸行無常なり。
You lost Zone C.
世の中は地獄の上の花にかな。
You captured Zone C. 日はまた昇る。射我一刀！ You lost Zone C.
你已败矣。疯狂就是力量。諸行無常なり。
You captured Zone A.